All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's AEON versus Duskbin. I think this is going to be the most exciting match of the day, and certainly one of the most highly anticipated. We do have another best out of 3 after this, but let's dive right into the action. AEON on the Radiant, Duskbin on the Dire. I think for both of these teams, there's going to be 2 players to keep an eye on. That's Suwamon for AEON and ninjaboogie for Duskbin. We saw just how powerful ninjaboogie's Invoker can be, and we've seen, of course, Suwamon's Pudge. Both of these players normally play that very aggressive ganking style role for their team, really setting the pace, getting the game on the right foot, and whichever one can get off to a faster start, I expect to see that team dominate. Godz, you with me, buddy?
I am with you, and I have to agree with most of what you said. Suwamon is the player to look out for AEON, as well as, I say, to some extent, to a slightly lesser extent, the King. He is their other sort of solo or carry player. He was playing the Queen of Pain and the Anti-Mage in their match yesterday against MSI. I believe it was MSI, well, one of their matches, one of their earlier matches. They played a couple matches already. But yeah, no, sorry, match on Wednesday against MSI, that's right. They didn't play a match at all yesterday. But yeah, those 2 players are the main players to look out for AEON. With Duskbin, ninjaboogie, as you mentioned, is sort of the aggressive ganking role, but he does sometimes sort of swing around, play those carry heroes, play the Morphling. And we'll see what these 2 teams want to do. For me, this is a very interesting matchup. The one matchup which for me is just going to be too close to call. I can't really give either team an edge really at all. I mean, there's nothing really separating them.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if this did not go to a best out of 3. Of course, a lot of that comes down to the drafting, but I think you're completely right. This is going to be the most exciting match of the day, and it's too close to call. How do you distinguish these teams? Duskbin, even though they've had a bit of roster changes, of course, Mr. Swish and I believe one other player recently left the team, swung over to try and sort of revitalize Mineski and Dota 2. That didn't work out too well for them, but hopefully ninjaboogie can really carry that Duskbin pride. They are the only Pinoy team remaining in the tournament, so a lot of those Pinoy hopes, and we all know how passionate those Pinoys can be about their Dota. A lot of those hopes rest on ninjaboogie's shoulders, along with his comrades in arms. In terms of the bans here, we see 3 junglers, 3 very strong pushing heroes, getting banned out from the start, and frankly, these 3 have been banned in almost every series, so no surprises whatsoever there. It is leaving room for a lot of those aggressive gankers like Queen of Pain, and strong laning heroes like the Windrunner, the Prophet, the Invoker. All of these heroes are still available.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's been happening, because often you don't see heroes like Enchantress being banned. Even some of the European teams are starting to let Chen through when the Enchantress is still in the pool, because if the other team picks Chen, they'll grab the Enchantress, and the way the Europeans play is that they play aggressive, and they often prefer to have the Enchantress. But with these Southeast Asian teams, they love to ban out those jungler heroes and then go for stuff like the Windrunner. Windrunner has probably been the most popular and effective pick throughout this tournament so far, and we'll see if one of these 2 teams want to pick it up. I'd say Duskbin and AEON are probably 2 of the exceptions to that stereotype. They don't play that slow and steady Dota. They'll make those sort of more exciting plays, and this is, I mean, not just one of the more even matches, but also one of the more matches where I expect there to be a lot of entertaining plays, a lot of excitement, and some high aggression from both these teams. So we'll see Queen of Pains, Windrunners being picked up, and as well as some of those maybe slightly more defensive heroes like the Earthshaker, although I think it's AEON who do prefer Sand King over the Earthshaker most of the time.
Yeah, even if you go for a Sand King or Earthshaker, of course, we have seen these heroes be they have the potential for early killing, especially that Fissure, such a strong initiation. That being said, they are normally picked up for their defensive capabilities. AEON is really mulling this pick over here, and I say that, or excuse me, actually it was Duskbin who was taking their time, and it is going to be on the Darkseer ban. We saw the power of Darkseer in the last series, WE really playing that to perfection in that suicide lane. Such a versatile hero, such a nuisance to deal with. And it's not just European Dota, it's not just Asian Dota, it's really all players around the world that are taking note of the Darkseer. One of the great things about Dota nowadays is it's such an international game. Even if you're not playing teams from around the world, you have a chance to watch them through Dota TV, through replays, both in the client for this tournament as well as VODs. So I think that's why we're seeing the sort of trends switch a little bit more quickly, and heroes that are popular in one scene quickly get picked up in the next, and then they fit into the metagame. Whereas in Dota 1, the scenes were a little bit more isolated. I mean, for example, you don't even see Chinese Dota 1 replays at all. Even today, once in a while, a tournament will be uploaded, but even then, it's 3-4 months after the event has taken place. Yeah. So I love that. I love the way that modern Dota is just so so progressive.
Yeah, no, it's great because like with these Twitch recordings and Twitch streams, you just have right after the stream goes offline, well, all the VODs are available. You can watch it all again. It's free and accessible to anyone to watch. It's not like you have to dig around and find them. It's just a great system, and we will see though Duskbin, what first pick here? I mean, Prophet Invoker being banned out, and there is the Leshrac in the pool. So is the Morphling. They're going to go for the Queen of Pain though.
Yeah, that Queen of Pain, such a strong way to start off the draft. Gives you a really versatile laning stage, really strong in the laning, really strong in the lane, but also a great ganker. That mobility, I think mobility, we've talked about it here and there over the past few days, but I think nowhere will it be more important than in this series, because both of these teams like to play aggressively. Going for heroes like Pudge, Queen of Pain, Windrunner, heroes that can get the runes, heroes that benefit a lot from picking them up. I'm curious what we're going to see from AEON, but I would be very surprised not to see at least the Earthshaker or the Windrunner picked up. The Windrunner seeming like a great way to sort of counter that Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain may have the edge in lane, but even if she does, it's not a huge advantage, and a well-played Windrunner can certainly hold her own. That is a strong defensive dual lane, and I believe the last time we cast AEON, they actually ran this dual lane on the Suicide lane, and they beat a tri-lane. If I recall correctly, there were a few kills that went AEON's way thanks to a nice fissure block. We'll have to see, although they were on the dire side that time around, but nonetheless, we could easily see this as a defensive Suicide dual lane. We could see the Windrunner soloing. It gives them a lot of flexibility with this 1-2 opening.
Yeah, no, I really like these two heroes. I mean, it really sets up a nice foundation for the rest of their draft. And here we go, Duskbin. They're not going to take their. They're not going to play. They're going to basically reveal their hand right now with this anti-mage pick. They get the Crystal Main as well, so they've got that strong support. As well as, I mean, they can be a bit aggressive in lane, even with an anti-mage. They can get an aggressive trial with a CM plus anti-mage. They haven't gone for something like the Lich, where you're just all about getting anti-mage farmed up. They can be using that Frostbite and the Frost Nova, the dual nuke combo. AEON now have some decisions to make as to whether or not they want to try to go tri-lane versus tri-lane, pick up their own carry here, which would most likely be the Morphling if they want to go that route, but they're going to go right into a Shadow Demon just to go for that sort of, I'd say, mostly kind of pick. We saw it attempted yesterday as well, but as a result, Antimage just didn't go for any points in that mana break, and he didn't really have any problems coming into late game carrying the game.
I think we actually cast 2 or 3 games where this matchup occurred, and at least in one of them, the Anti-Mage didn't get mana break, but his team just got stomped. Sure, he wasn't being damaged too badly by his own illusions because they weren't getting that mana burn, but at the same time, the Anti-Mage couldn't contribute, so it is a double-edged sword. Sure, Anti-Mage will be a little bit safer by not picking up that mana burn. He'll be a little bit more easily farmed, and not going to have to worry about the Shadow Demon harassment, but it also means he can't contribute as much. And so if that Anti-Mage decides to play that in that style, it puts a little bit more pressure on the Queen of Pain, on the Crystal Maiden, on the rest of the supporting cast to create farm for him to win that 4v5 stage of the game. Assuming that AEON opts to play like that, Morphling is still in the pool. I really like this Riki ban, although I haven't seen AEON run it, at least not recently. But one of the strongest heroes, not only to counter the Anti-Mage, but in fact the Crystal Maiden and the Queen of Pain could be completely locked down with that smoke screen to initiate, or the Fissure and the Shackle Shot and the smoke screen preventing those blink outs. And Riki, of course, a devastating damage dealer with basically no items. Once you get Power Treads, max out that backstab, you're going to be hitting extremely hard, and God forbid he ever gets a Diffusal Blade. So I like this ban from Duskbin, a smart ban there. And we'll have to see what AEON is going to go for their carry. That is what I'm most curious about at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seems Duskbin are quite happy to go up against some Morphling, even with that Anti-Mage, go for the hard carry versus hard carry. And I think when they've got that Queen of Pain, and also, I mean, the Morphling, there are some heroes you can help, you can pick up to help give you that strong team fight and basically make it so that Morphling cannot just go running and doing massive amounts of damage in those team fights. The Sand King and Night Stalker bans, I agree with the Night Stalker. He is a hero that, if he does get off to a good start, can just cause a lot of problems for AEON. And right now, it looks like AEON actually have a fairly safe defensive lineup. We'll see what they want to combo that Shadow Demon with, if they want to get some kind of point stuns. But, I mean, for the most part, it's ES and Shadow Demon who are likely to be the two supports. It's just a matter of, yeah, definitely, it's all about what carry they want to go for. If they want to go for the Morphling, or they want to go something a bit more mid-game oriented, maybe like a Mirana here. I think AEON are actually a team who've used the Faceless Void in the past, and I think that's something that we could even see whipped out as well.
Well, Duskbin also used that Faceless Void. They countered an Anti-Mage pick pretty hard with it, and it definitely is a hero that can counter Anti-Mage, can stand toe-to-toe with him in the late game, especially if you get up a Butterfly and some damage items. That Chronosphere, such a great way to lock Anti-Mage in place. Normally, Anti-Mage is very difficult to lock down, but Chronosphere is fantastic initiation, especially with the Shackle Shot and the Fissure to either follow it up or start it off. As far as AEON's carry pick here, I am very curious. I would not mind seeing a Leshrac as maybe their 2 or 3 possession 2 or 3 position pick on the team, simply because they already have a Shadow Demon who can play that hard support role, and an Earthshaker who can be in that 4 position, only getting a little bit of farm, maybe working towards Arcane Boots and a Blink. I think this is actually one of the few games we've cast where if the team opts to go for Leshrac, it won't have to play a support role. It can get some farm. And then the laning stage, Leshrac can definitely hold his own against the Queen of Pain. Will not do well in the dual lane, so if they pick into it, it would probably either go to the safe lane or mid. Unlikely to see it in the suicide lane. But yeah, I think Leshrac is an option here. Also gives you that some pushing power. And Beastmaster is going to be picked. Ooh, Duskbin, I like this pick. Beastmaster is one of the highest win rates across all regions, and especially in Southeast Asia. Every time this hero gets picked up, just seems to dominate. Even if he's in that suicide lane, get that level 6, get the inner B-star up, get that Hawk going, and a nice damage boost for the anti-mage. More importantly, that map control, keeping him safe, setting up ganks for the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And it also prepares for a hard carry pick for AEON. AEON are not going to go for the super hard carry Morphling. They're going to go with a hero which they have used a lot in the past, beat some top teams with. It's the Dragon Knight. And, I mean, I think it's a good pick. I don't think it synergizes perfectly with the rest of their draft. They haven't got massive auras that DK can benefit from. They haven't got sort of that mid-game push. Often you'll see DK picked up with heroes like the Leshrac as well as some other sort of solo heroes that can provide that mid-game to sort of early mid-game push. And it's not really what AEON are going for. So they're going to be playing DK more as a farmer here, which is not really where he shines, I feel, though.
Well, he certainly benefits from farm, but he's not going to scale nearly as hard as the anti-mage, especially with that Beastmaster backing you up. Another downside to this Dragon Knight pick is that you picked it against the Beastmaster, and Dragon Knight often seen going for a BKB, especially against burst-heavy lineups like a Quap, a CM. A BKB is not going to do too much good for you. It will stop the Mana Bird, it will stop those nukes from doing damage, but you can still be held in place by Beastmaster. And as a result, it's not like a game-breaking pick here. This is not the DK pick that we saw in the previous series, where DK was picked on top of a Prophet as well as a Pugna. Or actually, that was in Game 1. But they had already a very strong pushing lineup, a very strong teamfight lineup. And speaking of that teamfight, I would love to see a Panda pick here. I know it's not going to give them much late game, but Panda hard counters Enigma. You will never get off a good black hole against a Panda unless you catch him in it, and that is very difficult to do. It also gives them a fantastic mid-game lineup, and against an anti-mage, against a Beastmaster, against a Queen of Pain, you really want to be going for that mid-game. You're not going to win late. I mean, they could go for Morphling, some sort of a double carry, or, a double semi-carry with Morphling, maybe potentially hard carrying this, but I think a Panda here could be a fantastic choice and give them that crucial teamfight edge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Morphling is still an option. They can put the DK at mid with the winner at top and go for that tri-lane Morphling here. I still feel their mid game is just not quite as strong as this Dire team. I mean, they've just got such a strong catching potential. And that team fight, I mean, with the Beastmaster and Enigma, 2 great lockdown heroes. Sure, you're not going to be getting off amazing black holes, but Enigma just gives them that early boost to their XP and gold. You can take down towers. You have a jungle hero. So already right off the bat, you've got you've got 4 heroes who theoretically can be farming. I mean, World Elite, I mean, I remember you just at one point in the game early on, about sort of 8 minutes in or so, they had 4 heroes all at like 30, 40 CS or something, whereas it was their opponents, who was Myth Trust, who only had 3 heroes who actually had CS. The 2 supports are sitting on 1 or 2 CS, and there is some pushing potential there. That it works. That when you've got the DK, you need something else there to give them that mid-game push, and Death Prophet will provide that.
Yeah.
And ES Winner, I mean, they can clear creep waves. Winner can go for the mech. I mean, it's just the Shadow Demon who's being picked up as a sort of anti-mage counter who doesn't really fit, though.
This pick has a lot of potential, this Death Prophet. First of all, it gives them a much-needed source of damage, and against Duskbin, if you look at their lineup, they're pretty strong defensively. Queen of Pain anti-mage, very difficult to lock down. You've got the Roar and the Black Hole to help keep heroes alive, as well as provide some initiation. You've got the Hawk to scout out incoming ganks. Dragon Knight generally builds tanky, and like you said, they don't have a whole lot of damage without any Rs to stack up on him, but with this Death Prophet, they should have a bunch. Plus, if you ever initiate on Death Prophet when she has her ult, sure, you might be able to roar her, but then Shadow Demon can immediately follow up with a Disruption. You can have a Defensive Fissure, maybe a Shackle Shot, a Force Staff if the Windrunner can get towards that. A DK can go for tank items to assist as well, with a quick Pipe, Windrunner maybe with a quick Mech. So if AEON can get up those early defensive items, and combine them with the natural defensive capabilities of the supporting cast, we could easily see early towers going down. We could see Death Prophet winning team fights. And that silence, it cannot be underestimated. A big AoE silence against a team that relies on mobility through blinks, as well as the big black hole. A great counter. Great pushing life. I think this Death Prophet has a lot of potential to shine. She also has opportunity to farm, because she will be either the #1 or #2 farmer on the team. In terms of lanes, what do you expect to see?
Well, for AEON, it's almost. Ooh, I mean, they've got both the Death Prophet as well as the DK who could go towards that mid lane. I think DK might actually do a bit better there. He can go for that fast ball. They can just put Death Prophet in that bottom lane. I think Death Prophet is a bit more farm dependent than the DK in this game here. I mean, we saw World Elite when they had the Brewmaster. They wanted to make sure Brewmaster got the early farms level. They were quite happy to send DK mid. So we may see something similar where they do the winner. I mean, almost has to be in that Suicide solo, unless they wanted to run that tri lane up top, which they well could do with the Shadow Demon and the Earthshaker. Duskbin, on the other hand, CM Anti-Mage going to be laying together with the Queen of Pain and Beastmaster as their two solos. Enigma going to almost definitely be going into the jungle. It's just a matter of whether they are confident with the Anti-Mage going into the safe lane, or if they're expecting AEON to put their trial in there, they may sort of decide, okay, let's do a dual lane Anti-Mage mid and really try to shut down whoever's there. It could be a hero like the DK or the Death Prophet, and that could work out for them. I mean, we'll see AEON, if they do that, AEON will probably react, send the Shadow Demon mid, and go dual lane versus dual lane, but that could just provide them a nice sort of boost to their early game start and catch AEON a bit by surprise.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way to go. And another thing working in Duskbin's favor here is they have that Enigma. Hero can handle the offlane. We'll most likely see him in the jungle with the Beastmaster down the offlane. Expect to see this Beastmaster stacking the Ancients early on. That's just how Beastmaster is played right now. I mean, I know you've said it's not as popular in the Asian scene in general, but I think that's the best way to go, because that Enigma we talked about before, the farm potential, if you put him into the jungle, it really frees things up for the rest of the team. And Arjun, with that one point in Call of the Wild to start the game, it looks like he will be headed bottom. Enigma towards his defensive jungle, and Queen of Pain, being played by Blah, will go mid. I should introduce the rest of the players. Lay on that Crystal Maiden. He is this hard support player for Duskbin. Has a pair of Sentry Wards as well as Observer Wards picked up. This tells you that Duskbin really wants to get pulls going, really wants to get the Anti-Mage some protected farm near the tower. Ninjaboogie is not starting with, has not been pulled any regen, but will be rushing a Poor Man's Shield, and something is making my good friend godz laugh. What might that be?
It's the DK man. Have you seen him?
Oh, wow! He's got a pimp coat. Look at that sword. This is like the full DK gear, I think. Oh, actually,
I was about to say. It looks like full DK gear. And we're about to say, we should focus on the game as well, not just the aesthetics. But at the moment, it looks like they are going to be running this tri lane at top. King has gone bottom. Is this going to be a solo bottom Death Prophet? If it is, he's going to find himself up against a Beastmaster. Enigma will go for an early creep deny and then head off into that jungle. That will help out the bottom lane just a little bit. I mean, the one creep deny can... it can make a big difference just pulling that creep wave towards the Beastmaster's tower, but when it's a 1v1 matchup, it's not going to matter all that much. And Tri-Lane going to be at top with Windrunner looking to go... Actually, Windrunner or DK? DK looks to be going towards the mid lane, so it's going to be Windrunner Tri-Lane with DK at mid.
I like these lanes for AEON. My only concern will be that Enigma in the jungle, because Enigma is one of the best early game gankers. Once you get 6 Eidolons up, maybe hit level 2 so that you have that Malefice with the 2 instances of stun. You can easily set up a gank with a full set of your creeps and quickly burst down even these squishier supports such as Nuts. You're probably not going to kill off the Windrunner, less likely to kill off the Earthshaker, but the Shadow Demon the most likely to go down. Still, it is a very defensive tri-lane. So Enigma may not get those ganks. A lot will hinge on the way that this early lane goes. I'm a little disappointed that AEON has not placed a ward behind the tower here, as that would allow them to track the pulls. They are going to see the Enigma ganks if they come. Maybe it won't be. Yeah, I think it will. Okay, it will be that tri-lane top. On the bottom lane, it's going to be a Death Prophet up against Beastmaster from the looks of it, and that's a pretty even matchup. Death Prophet is going to get that farm, though. She's got the ranged attack. She's got the more spammable nuke. Still, Beastmaster will get levels, and that's what he's mostly concerned about. Mid looks to be a toss-up. Maybe give the edge early to Queen of Pain, but DK is just so tanky. One of the few melee heroes that can really handle the harassment coming his way from the Queen of Pain.
And something Beastmaster can do, I know a few European teams doing. I mean, you can always stack the Ancients with your axes, but something that I thought was really clever is teams who go for the fast Quill Beast and use the Quill Beast to stack those Ancients. It doesn't eat up a heap of your mana, and he doesn't actually lose out on XP. He can just stay in this lane with the Quill Beast stacking the Ancients. It does take a bit of micro as well as a bit of, you have to keep your eye on that clock. But if you can do that, come mid game, he can catch up quickly on farm by going for that Soul Ring and Wild Axis spam. And it also can go towards some of that farm can always go towards the Anti-Mage as well. If he does go for that fast Battle Fury, he can come and help out, take those Ancients. And Beastmaster with the Stout Shield, I mean, he'll be perfectly fine in this bottom lane against Death Prophet. As mid lane, I have to agree, DK will probably not do all that well against Queen of Pain, but the fast bottle will help him out. He won't be in too much danger, as he will be getting the Dragon Blood as well, at least a couple points in that fairly early on.
Yeah, don't be surprised to see a lot of bottle crowing in this game from both teams. They definitely have done it before, and especially in this middle lane, both heroes are going to need that regen. In the bottom lane, we may not see quite as much of it. Sure, Beastmaster can bottle crow, Death Prophet can, but Death Prophet often likes to go for a quick ring of health, whether that goes into a Vanguard, a Hood of Defiance, or once in a while you do see a Bloodstone pickup. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it looks like a really aggressive push here off the bat, and I'm taking a look, how is the Anti-Mage farming? Ninjaboogie, only 4-1, being denied pretty hard. Malefice on a Nuts, and this is that early gank at level 3 by the Enigma I was talking about. Nuts in a lot of trouble. Shackle Shot is going to hit on Ninjaboogie, and I think Nuts will survive. He may not, though. He stayed in rage. He's going to get frostbitten up. Nuts, will he go down first? He does. First blood for Ninjaboogie, a very close first blood, almost secured by Suwaman. Hachiko on the way out, playing that Enigma. I think he should be alright, and Ninjaboogie really needed that. Great rotation in by the Enigma. That is the power of jungle ganks.
That was a photo finish for that first blood. That was so close to getting AEON on that Crystal Main. I was thinking, what are you doing, Crystal Main? Running in. I mean, she had the nukes, but it was just one of those things where she was definitely going to die. And if they didn't get that first blood, it was going to be pretty bad for this Anti-Mage at top lane. Even though he would have gotten that kill, he's actually not gone for a Ring of Health. He's gone straight for the poor man's shield here. So that Ring of Health will take a bit longer. But still, I agree, he does need the poor man's shield, although I think with the first blood, he could have gone for the Ring of Health. We will see some more creep pulling coming from Duskbin, and that's going to help pull this wave back, and it's even something Anti-Mage can just come over and last hit for that gold. Those rock golems do give nice gold and XP.
They do, and again, if the tri-lane is in the offensive position, which they are, they're all up top, and the lane is getting pulled, they're not going to get the levels and farm that they need. Now, these are two supports who are not particularly level dependent in the Shadow Demon and the Earthshaker. Still, you would like to get those levels if possible, especially for Shadow Demon, you'd like to be able to level up that Soul Catcher. For Earthshaker, work towards that ultimate. I want to keep an eye on this middle lane here. I expect to see Blah controlling the runes unless he gets some assistance, but for now the tri-lane is all staying up top. In terms of farm, 13 and 6 on him can stay keeping the pace here at 12-1. Really nice job, and again, look how tanky DK is with that bottle up, easily handling the Quap's Shadow Strike harassment. Sure, it's annoying, it hurts. Ken would prefer not to deal with it, but he's going to be okay in spite of it. And the Kane is also doing well, 21 and 8 for him, definitely outlaning the Beastmaster by a lot, a little more than I would expect, but this is a lane you expect to see that Death Prophet win. Her nuke is more spammable, and she's a ranged hero.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he's laning really well. He's harassing non-stop and keeping Beastmaster as far away from the creep wave as possible. And Beastmaster has been using those axes to keep up his farm. He has got a bottle coming out for him. But the thing is, I mean, yeah, he didn't get the ball all that fast. Mid lane, the DK is actually pretty much on par for CS with the Queen of Pain. And that's as a result of that fast ball. He's going to get the rune, Invis rune coming in. And Shadow Demon actually rotating towards mid a bit here. Only level 2. We will see. I think they realize that this tri-lane at top, they can't really put much pressure. I mean, they can pressure the Anti-Mage's farm, but with that creep pull there, having a tri-lane, they'll just get a bit too under-farmed.
Yeah, and after that first gank by the Enigma, things just got a little too dangerous. And of course, Enigma is about to hit level 5, and that is, that's the point where his Eidolons really start to hurt, making it very difficult to stay in this lane. I mean, they do have a ward set up here, so they shouldn't be getting caught out too much by ganks, but when they move to challenge the pull, they don't have the vision they need in order to see when the Enigma's coming. So I think it's a smart rotation. Although, where's Nuts going? Is he going to look to do a little creep stacking? I believe he is. Stacking up the jungle. This will be nice for the DK or the Death Prophet later on. Two heroes who can definitely take advantage of those stacked pulls. And with that, will Nuts look to set up something on the bottom lane? Beastmaster is a hero that you can gank early on. That being said, he is pretty tanky, and if the Hawk is up, it's going to be pretty difficult. Maybe he'll just do some pulling on the bottom lane.
Yeah, he hasn't really been stacking his Ancients as of yet. He may go around doing that soon once he feels himself in a bit of danger. But King, I mean, hitting level 6, not actually going for the Exorcism. He does have those Arcane Boots, which he can later turn into Bloodstone if he wants to disassemble them. And we are going to...
Middle lane, Blah almost went down. So low. The DK stun was used, the Flame Breath to follow. The killing blow was actually disjointed by a blink. And then the poison ticking from the ultimate was almost enough. That was a real close blow. And hey, in this range form, Dragon Knight can easily outlane Queen of Pain because of that range stun. And Dragon Knight just being a little bit tankier, a little bit hardier, able to survive the harassment better.
Is the DK poison, is that actually fatal? I didn't think it is, but it's not something I'm actually that confident in.
I'm not sure, actually. And I don't know if it's different for towers versus heroes, but I suppose one of the more mechanics knowledgeable viewers may be able to answer that question in the chat. Roar on the bottom lane, Death Prophet, in a lot of trouble.
Oh, Shadow Demon's coming in with a haste, but going to be too late, and may actually find himself getting stunned and taken out if he's not careful. That's some smart movement from Enigma coming towards that bottom lane. Enigma has had free farm in the jungle, and once you hit around that level 6, it's not so much the levels, it's more you need the soaring plus boots, and then you can just really get involved. I mean, you don't necessarily even need the boots, but he's got the Eidolons up to level 3. He's going for a fast conversion, not maxing out the stun first. Has a black hole, so he can easily look for kills and tower pushes around the map, especially at this bottom lane where Death Prophet is no longer there following that kill, but going to TP back in and prevent any push by spamming it off. Enigma, though, currently going to stay in this bottom jungle, and that's where she can look to set up more kills on either bottom or mid lane.
Yeah, this is the more common build on Enigma. You generally get 2 points of Malefice, then go back, get a 3rd point in conversion, and then by level 7 you will max Malefice out because at level 2 and level 3 of Malefice you still just get 2 stuns. Looks like Enigma in a little bit of trouble here. No, he should be okay. They really can't initiate onto him once that black hole's up. Nuts is 200 leveled, and Death Prophet, with no points to the ultimate, not going to be able to out-damage him. So for now, Enigma can do some offensive jungling, and this gives him the opportunity to set up some ganks either on the middle lane or the bottom lane. It also puts him in a bit of danger as we see the Earthshaker also rotating away. Swamon will be left alone up top, and he's getting some good farm here. I think right now what they really want is for him to hit level 7, get that maxed out power shot, and then start leveling up Shackle Shot. AEON has 3 heroes that are all farming pretty well. On the middle lane, oh, Blah is going to pick off Ken. Was that a solo kill? I think it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just with the ulti, I mean, I think DK got a bit aggressive there, and with the ES Fissure, thought he could go for a kill. Black Hole going to be put mid. Enigma's taking the tower, though. He's going to get this kill, but he's going to go down as well. Actually, ES, if he had leveled up there or something, would have actually maybe... I think he did level up, but it didn't get enough HP following that. And the tower, Enigma just... Ooh, not quite the best positioning for him there, although he did get the kill. I don't think that one was worth it.
Ninjaboogie going on Swabon here. The Frostbite is available. It is held, and you wait until the wind runs and then pop it. Ninjaboogie gets a kill. 1,200 gold in the bank. He's on track if he wants to get a Battle Fury. That is an option. Of course, that is always the question for Anti-Mage. Do you go Battle Fury? Do you go for Quick Vanguard? And I think this game, if Duskbin continue this pace of Queen of Pain, Enigma, and Beastmaster just setting up opportunities for him. Oh, Nuts, a lot of trouble here. Disruption, but I think he's still going to go down. Soulcatcher as well. Nuts kind of knows he's dead. He will drop, and that's another kill going the way of Blah. Again, the more kills that this Queen of Pain can pick up by herself, the less the Anti-Mage has to be involved, and Ninjaboogie happily farming away up top. On the bottom lane, a little bit of aggression here from Hachiko. Look how much damage those nukes do. Beastmaster Roar not going to be nearly enough. And with that kill, they may look to go for a little bit of a push. Don't see them killing the tower, but it should take some damage.
Yeah, and at mid lane, Queen of Pain, I really like her build. I mean, going for the 2 null talismans with the early boot ball just gives her such a great boost to her mana pool, HP, and just all around her early to mid game presence. As yeah, we are going to see AEON looking to put on some pressure bottom lane. A stun with a Carrion Storm, actually going to take this Beastmaster down very low. If King had ran in there, could have maybe tried to go for that kill with the Exorcism, but the T1 tower alone, if they can get that, they'll help AEON out a lot, but with Exorcism wearing off, it doesn't look like they'll be able to do so.
Yeah, I really prefer this style of play on the Queen of Pain, whether it's 2 null talismans or maybe a quick power treads. You need those extra stats. Queen of Pain is very squishy, and she also has a lot of mana issues early on. You compare that to the Perseverance build, I think this is a much better choice. Shackle Shot on Ninjaboogie. He has not taken any points of mana burn. He does want a farm all game. This actually strongly suggests he'll be going for the Battle Fury, and in fact, he gets the kill there. Oh, it's not good to be feeding an anti-mage this many kills, and I mean, if you're AEON, sure, you're getting the farm on all 3 of your core heroes, but every single one of them has died at least once. Each getting my tongue twisted up here. Ket is going to pick up a DD, but yeah, all of their core heroes have died. Anti-mage is 3-0. That is not really a score you like to see.
No, absolutely. This is not a very good start for AEON, that's for sure. And I just got to say, I mean, the Duskbin, they laned this well. They had the Enigma in jungle, and this is what you see World Elite doing. They love just throwing a hero in that jungle, getting that boost to their gold, having more XP on all their heroes come sort of the 10-minute mark. And once they get that early golden XP, they'll go start pushing down towers, go for the fast mech and pipe on their team, and get those towers mid lane. Chain stuns on Queen of Pain will blink out before she goes down, and now it's DK in a bit of trouble. Nice defensive disruption. ES ulti reaches the Queen of Pain somehow. That was...
Did it?
How did that reach?
I think that... Was it?
Was it...
You're right. I have no idea how that reached.
That was like a 600 or 700 range on the ES ulti.
It must
with
have...
the echo sound.
It must have been like the absolute maximum range there. I thought maybe it was that Dragon's Breath, and indeed the spell turned out to be fatal. But
I'm gonna have to rewatch that after this game.
This is where you want that
what
instant
happened
replay
there.
feature, right?
Yeah. One day, this will be a professional sport. One day.
Oh, man. Still a big kill. Really need to slow down that Queen of Pain. They got that kill. Oh, it looks like Queen of Pain wants to make a go here on the bottom lane. The King has opted for Rain of Health. I expect we're going to see a Vitality booster next. It could be a Hood, but I feel like the raw HP is just going to do a little bit more for you. Because it's not all magical damage coming out for the Dire. It is a little bit of physical damage as well. The anti-mage right clicks, the inner beast aura, as well as the right clicks of the other heroes. Pretty significant at this stage of the game. We'll have to see though. The King is getting close. 1100 gold if he wants to go for that. He'll have it soon.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Bloodstones on Death Prophets lately. I mean, just because the item progression does work well. You get the HP regen from the Ring of Health. You can get the Arcane Boot so you can spam it more early on. Bottom lane, Duskbin are positioning themselves to try and go in. CM is lurking around with a haste, although heading towards mid lane. I think they're deciding, let's not go on bottom. There's too many here. I'm not sure whether they know that both ES and Shadow Demon are there as well. But mid lane, DK, with this Enigma, I don't think they can get the kill with just the two of them. Even though they have got the Black Hole, they're not going to be able to go on this. Just a Nova as well as a Frostbite. No, it looks they can get this Enigma stun with the Black Hole. This could be a kill. Kane going to turn things around. There's the... Oh, no Black Hole. He was casting it and DK stunned. And Windrunner could go for this Crystal Main. The Black Hole gets popped. Hashigo is on the back foot now. This is a really nice TP in from Windrunner. Going to maybe look for a power shot to finish off this Crystal Main. Although currently low on mana. One power shot will finish off the CM here. Not going to find it. Not just yet, at least.
Wow, another Black Hole that, you know, at least the first time he got a kill, this time no kill, and in fact he dies. So not the most effective Black Hole usage. Still, the Enigma has had a decent time. He did set up that crucial gank on the Death Prophet. Speaking of that Death Prophet, still no item selection. This is a situation where you really want to spend your gold because that Vitality booster, whatever you choose to go for, that item can make the difference between life and death. Ninjaboogie is being left entirely alone. He's only about 800, 900 gold away from that battlefield, and he is rushing it. He's actually driving Ken off the lane. You normally don't see Anti-Mage play this aggressively, but Ken was quite low from that attempt on his life mid. What is Sawaman going for? He's up to 2200. Will be a Force Staff, will be a Mechanism. I think the mech is the better play here because if you look at the lineup, AEON is all about keeping this Death Prophet alive while her ult is up, and a Force Staff can help with that, but I think the mech is just a little bit safer.
No, I definitely agree. Yeah, and I mean, once you get that mech up, I mean, you can get both those two items in relative time. Top lane, Anti-Mage finds the Shadow Demon. He does get disrupted, but with the disruption, not going to be enough. He does buy enough time just to see Anti-Mage get the kill, and now that Battle Fury will be up fairly soon. 14 minutes in, straight Battle Fury. Mid lane, though, they get the Windrunner, and that's going to slow down Windrunner's mech or Force Staff, whatever you want to go. The good news is for AEON that the Anti-Mage only has 45 creep kills. That's only about 3 creeps a minute at the moment, but still, with all those kills, he is going to find himself getting a relatively fast Battle Fury, and now we are seeing AEON start to pressure some towers. That's what they really need to do in the mid game, especially with this DK, who's up to level 10 now, and the Windrunner, who will be looking maybe to go for that mech, is sitting on 2400 gold, so either mech or Force Staff will probably be bought right now.
Yeah, let's see, has the Death Prophet bought anything? Okay, it is going to be a Vitality booster. This is not going to be a Vanguard, guys. This is definitely going to be that Bloodstone, and Death Prophet is going to have a very early Bloodstone. In spite of that death to the Enigma, she's doubling the farm of almost anyone on Duskbin. Well, not quite doubling, it's about 50% more, but still, really great farm. Blah on the middle lane, has managed to hit level 11. This is where Queen of Pain starts to enter her prime. Sure, she scales well with items, but with that level 2 ult, this is the point where she outlevels a lot of supports. Look at the Shadow Demon, very squishy, only level 5. Earthshaker is level 8, actually pretty good levels on the Earthshaker, but not even 1000 HP, can definitely be burst down. So it looks like we're going to see a bit of a trade here. Top tower being pressured, mid tower being pressured. The mid tower is almost, it is a deny rage. That illusion puts it into deny rage. Definitely a blunder here by Blah. The tower will be denied.
Queen of Pain may go. No, Queen of Pain's thinking about blinking in, but one of those moments where if you blink and get the tower hit and get out, it's absolutely epic and crazy. But if you miss it, you die. Then well, not in a match of this much importance.
Okay, so Ninjaboogie has his Battle Fury. For some reason, the Courier is ferrying a Clarity top. More importantly, Hachiko gets caught out. Oh, the Echo Slam from Mr. Kyo. God, I love that spell. And it looks like Lei is in some trouble here. Roar onto Ken. This is the power of a Beastmaster against the Dragon Knight, locking him down, but Crystal Maiden may die. in exchange. Indeed, she will. So it's a 2-for-1. And there was a buyback, I believe, by the Enigma. Indeed, there is. He's back in the fight. Shadow Demon has that Demonic Purge, drops the Demonic Purge. Not sure that was the correct skill usage. Probably should have self-disrupted, but he will disrupt now. Power shot slashing through. Arjun is going to latch to his own board, but nice body blocking here by Hachiko. And in fact, it may be Sawaman who's in trouble. The force staff was the choice. Up onto the high ground he goes, but in fact, they might lead to his downfall. They're going to look for him, not going to find him. I expect to see a blink onto the high ground momentarily. Sawaman is scouted out by the Hawk. Not going to kill off the Enigma here. Ooh.
He was so close to that Enigma kill, but they had the Hawk. They they had the Hawk, but one more right click, and that was a dead Enigma. I mean, for the most part, a bit unlucky to get stuck at the top there, but once he did play that as well as he could. And now, the good thing about Enigma is even when you get 10 HP, he goes right back in the jungle and just keeps farming, knowing that's safe. Although there is an AEON ward just above him, but there's nothing that can really kill him at the moment. As I mean, that was a win for Duskbin. They got some kills. They're buying more time for this anti-mage to get more and more farmed. He does have that Battle Theory up now. As you said, for some reason it did go top with the Clarity, but now he's in that jungle, just farming away. Going to try to get the treads, probably going to a Manta style next. As CM is also at bottom lane, they may look for a kill on this Death Prophet. It's a Vanguard.
If she wanted a Vanguard, she could have had it much earlier. I'm not really sure why she held on to it for so long. Ninjaboogie is going to be held in place. Not able to pop the ult. It's going to go for the TP out. Ninjaboogie gets a crucial kill. And Vanguard, you see there, the damage block's not really helping. I mean, he was dead anyway, but I just don't like this item selection. It doesn't progress into anything better. It doesn't really scale well into the late game. And you've been farming all game. You've only gotten one tower. Oh, Ninjaboogie is going to go down, though. It's a big kill.
That's a level 1 mana break. He's kept it level 1 because of the Shadow Demon, but right there, he got disrupted, and ES landed the feature just as he came out, so he couldn't actually get away from the mana break, and CM in trouble as well. Not sure if there's enough damage there. There is going to be a Soul Catcher with some poisons being set. Couple more right clicks, maybe a poison. We'll see Lei go down as well. This poison not going to land. Looks like Lei will get out, except this feature will finish it up. Actually, DK Flame Breath. No escape, and Queen of Pain at top kills Windrunner.
They lock down the Windrunner again, even though she's got this Force Staff. That's where the Roar, as well as the Queen of Pain's Blink, come in handy. Just too much chase, too much long-range initiation. Even a hero like Windrunner just can't escape there. After all said and done, the anti-mage died, and this time when he's dead is time he's not spent farming. It's also gold that he lost, so Ninjaboogie, in spite of having a Battle Fury, still only boots of speed on him. There is a window of opportunity for AEON for, let's say, the next 10 minutes or so to knock down these Tier 2 towers. They actually don't even have the Tier 1 top, and I would really like to see them get that down as soon as possible. Restrict the anti-mage's jungle farm. If you can win a big team fight, turn that into a Roshan. And with that, Aegis on the Death Prophet or the DK, not going to be the best heroes for it. Still, keeping them alive, making them mediocre cans to focus can be very helpful. But for AEON, it is a timing window here. We saw WE fit right through that window perfectly 2 games in a row. Can AEON do the same? It's looking a little bit tougher for them this time, and you got to credit Duskbin, smart, aggressive play, choosing their battles wisely, and coming out to a big lead here. Or not a big lead, but a good opportunity to take this game.
Oh yeah, there's definite opportunity for them, but they're not farming well enough to take this to the late game, I feel. I mean, the DK, if he was farming ridiculously well, having a great time, same goes for the winner and Death Prophet. If they had those 3 heroes farming well, winning their lanes, they could take this late and still beat an anti-mage. But the problem is, they're not doing all that well. They're getting picked off a few times, and now we're going to see AEON start taking down those towers. King and will actually get the last hit for that one. We'll see if he wants to go. It doesn't actually look like he's going to go for the Bloodstone. He's staying with the Arcane Boots, starting to build a BKB, in fact. Not the item I would have expected on him, and something that does get dealt with quite well by the Beastmaster Roar, the Enigma Black Hole. It's just going to prevent a lot of those nukes coming out. The Malefice, the Queen of Pain, Scream, and Sonic Wave. But still, I mean, it's not a bad item. I just don't feel it's the best item.
Yeah, it's not BKB. Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. Arshan eats the shackle. It's not going to latch, but nonetheless, Ken held in place. Death Prophet ult. Actually, Enigma is taking so much damage from this Echo Slam from the Earthshaker. Nice job focusing everyone down, and Death Prophet is on a tear. Dragon Tail onto the Queen of Pain. They should have focused the anti-mage. Looks like he will go down anyway to the offensive Urn Charge. Wow, all 5 heroes dead for Duskbin. What a team fight for AEON, and that's the problem with not catching the Death Prophet and the Enigma ult. Even if they did, I think she might have gotten those kills anyway. God, that ult hurts so much.
Oh, that was
unexpected.
Massive damage from Death Prophet. That is the most damage I've seen a Death Prophet ultimate do in a team fight in a long, long time. I mean, normally you'll see it just sort of slowly just tearing apart heroes, but that was just instant dead. One hero, one by one, they all went down. Enigma took so much damage while casting that black hole, though, not mostly by the Death Prophet, but just from all those ranged nukes. And that defensive disruption, I mean, only one hero caught in the black hole just ended up Duskbin in all kinds of trouble. And this anti-mage is in a tough position now. He has not got quite all the... I mean, he's sitting on 91 creep kills with a fairly decent time on the Battle Fury, but I don't know if he can fight this damage that's coming out of heroes like Death Prophet. Now DK will have a BKB and be going up that next item very quickly. AEON just going to start systematically taking these outer towers. As you mentioned, go for the Roshan, even though it's not the best item for either a DK or Death Prophet because they respawn without the Dragon Form, without the Exorcism, or have to save it for after they respawn. It's still good having the Aegis in general, getting that boost to the gold, and just having that strategical importance of having that extra hero in the fight. So AEON suddenly turning things around, and they're looking very strong here.
Yeah, wow, did that Exorcism ult ever do damage? And the way the mechanics work with the ult, the ghosts do damage every time they hit a hero, then they return to Death Prophet and go back out again. So essentially, if you're standing really close to the Death Prophet, the closer to her you are, the faster the ghosts will be able to hit an enemy unit and travel back to you. And she was right next to 3 heroes in that fight. But it wasn't just the Death Prophet. Of course, you mentioned the nukes coming out from AEON. They had a lot. The Flame Breath, the Power Shot, the Fissure, a lot of AoE nukes. And with that big team fight, look how bold they are. The BKB is up on Dragon Knight. Also, crucially, he's getting very close to level 16. And even an anti-mage cannot really stand toe-to-toe with Dragon Knight at level 16. Even with that fast Battle Fury, he can easily be kited with that slow. And they're getting tanky. They're getting big item pickups, double BKB. And there's no black hole up. AEON actually is going for high ground here, and I'm not sure what you can do about it if you're Duskbin. This is a dangerous situation. They're just going to lose racks from the looks of it. What are they getting in return? A tier 2. They're trying to split push. I don't see them stopping this push. I really don't.
No, absolutely. They really don't have the firepower to do so. DK, unfortunately, is actually sitting on a level 2 ultimate. We'll give him some AoE damage. Beastmaster in trouble. Gets stunned. He's going to find a way out. But once again, AEON just going to say, sit back. They've got the Exorcism going. He has got a BKB if he needs to keep himself alive. They will take out the Crystal Main. And now the BKBs are being popped. Both Death Prophet and DK. They dodge the entire Queen of Pain ultimate. And this Rax looks like it will go down. Only the Crystal Main dead, but the Queen of Pain ultimate's been blown. The Enigma ultimate's on cooldown for a good 10-15 seconds. AEON going to play it safe though, without that Exorcism up anymore. They are going to have a mech coming soon for this winner as well. And that Blink Dagger is finished for the Earthshaker. Things going from bad to worse for Duskbin.
That is a really fast Blink Dagger on a support Earthshaker. He's been active all over the map. Mr. Keo has really played well on this Earthshaker. Involved in 11 of their 15 kills. In fact, he's got the highest kill participation on the team. That is some impressive play. And I think we saw his Earthshaker yesterday, or no, maybe it was 2 days ago. He was really effective then as well. Mr. Keo really contributing to his team, and sort of the unsung hero of all these games are often the support player. Shackle Shot not going to latch on Arjun. That was a fantastic push. Yeah, they didn't get the racks. They did a bunch of damage to it. They took down the tier 3. Sure, they used 2 10-second BKB charges, but they're going to be very happy because one more push like that, that will mean the end for Duskbin. Still, this time around, if they push, there will be a black hole to work with. Mechanism coming off up for the Enigma at just about 300 gold. If he can get that, that could make a big difference. But during this time, Ninjaboogie has been farming. He's got an ultimate orb, working his way towards a Manta. It's not going to be fast enough to really contribute in this fight, but if his teammates can set him up and he wins this, then suddenly things will be looking a lot better. Oh, Lei, bad position. He tried to de-ward there, or actually just place a normal ward. He will just get burst down immediately. And in that 4v5 situation, AEON is going to be feeling very confident, going straight for the high ground. In fact, it's a 2v5. No defense being attempted here by Duskbin.
There is a Blink Dagger on Enigma. We may be seeing a Blink Black Hole soon, but ES is just sitting back, ready for it. They are dropping the Raw here, and Enigma may use this. ES just so well positioned, not giving Enigma a chance to go in. The Fish is on cooldown now, so he may look for that opening, but they've already lost the rack, so even if you get a 4 or 5 man Black Hole, the Exorcism will be doing damage throughout it, and there's not much point going in when you've already lost the racks, unless you're sure that you can clean up. Now, though, they're going to have to look for that opening, because AEON, they're not done. They want to go top, and once again, Mr. Keo in position behind his other 4 teammates, ready for that fissure.
Yeah, this just makes this just makes initiating almost impossible for the Enigma and the Beastmaster. Roar, there's no way to get in range unless maybe you smoke and try to run around, but during that time your Rex are taking damage. Ninjaboogie still looks like he's going back for Power Tread, just wants as much HP as possible. They can still come back from losing mid-Rex, but if they lose another lane, it's going to be nearly impossible. Both side lanes are quite heavily pushed, so it looks like they will back up for the moment. With that push, I would love to see some aggressive wards placed in the enemy jungle. Try and limit the anti-mage's room to farm. Also set up ganks on anyone who tries to farm there. And as well as a Roshan attempt relatively soon. I expect we will be seeing one. As I say that, Is AEON going to try and push this lane without creeps? Not sure what they're doing.
Ooh, maybe they just creep. I mean, they can just farm out the creep wave. They'll wait for this wave to catch up. I mean, while they wait, they can just go into these neutrals if they really want to be efficient. As there's pings on Roshan, so Duskbin, they've got time and they're going to try and take out Roshan here. Although they have walked right past an AEON ward, AEON may realize this. Although it doesn't look like they care. They're going to. Oh, they don't actually know. They've been dewarded. That's it. I remember they did put a ward inside the enemy base before.
No.
They're going to power shot for vision.
There's another ward.
And they're
actually
looking for this Enigma.
right near the middle lane. It was spotted. They just don't care. They're going to take another center X.
Yeah, they're going to go right in, even with the backdoor protection. They're going to get this with the backdoor protection. It looks like they've just got massive DPS. It's slow. They're going to get it. And here's the creep wave. They've taken out the tower. Roshan is down. The TPs are coming. The problem is, this anti-mage is already low. He's going to heal up first. They can't even go in. This Rax is going to go down before there's even an engagement. The Enigma cannot find an opening to Black Hole because of this ES. And it's going to have to be the Beastmaster followed up by anti-mage who go in first. And even then, ES will just be so patient. Ken, he's going to get the Rax here, and DK going to catch out this Beastmaster. Beastmaster will go down. Anti-Mage trying to set something up by just running in, and it's not going to be enough as AEON find themselves up by 4 Raxes with Queen of Pain Silence and a decon. They're going to go for this kill. There's your Black Hole. Patience for Hashiko outweighed Mr. Kyo, but it's not going to matter. There's just not enough damage. Anti-Mage, Mana Void, not going to be enough, and AEON, they pick up 2. They almost get the Crystal Main and Anti-Mage. They're going to get the Anti-Mage. Even losing the Shadow Demon Earthshake, it's not going to matter. They've got the Rax, and they just clean up.
2 sets of Rax, even kill trades. Aegis was used. Great win there for AEON, and AEON looking in a commanding lead here. Should be able to take game number 1. The goal difference still not too significant. The XP difference actually dead even, but with two lanes of Rax done. Yes, Duskbin is great anti-push heroes, but this is going to allow AEON to aggressively farm the enemy jungle, and frankly, they can just wait for the ults to come back up. DK is level 16 now, which he didn't even have in that fight. He's also pretty close to an Assault Cuirass if he wants to go that way, or the Mjolnir if he just wants a little bit more damage. And either whatever direction he decides to go for, they can just wait for those ults to come up and go push bottom, end the game. I don't see Duskbin defending. They couldn't defend with an Aegis. I have no idea how they'll defend without one. The Queen of Pain did manage to complete a Hex. I think she got it right, either right before that fight or right after. That could help, but against 2 BKBs on the key damage dealers on the frontline tanks, I'm not sure it's going to matter.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Those those 2 frontline heroes with the BKBs just shrugging everything off. We're going to see an Assault Crest coming very soon for the DK. And I mean, yeah, just BKBs alone. I'm actually seeing the justification now behind this death of getting the BKB. If they're just going for that push, it just needs the survivability. Bloodstone would help, but you can be maybe Chain Sundown. As are you getting this lag spike as well?
Yeah, a little bit of lag spike. Hopefully the players will be pausing. Hopefully both teams don't disconnect, and as we may not have safe games to reload on. Looks like the game is... There we go. We got to pause. Oh, that was a close one. Let's check the pains now, see if everyone's settling down. Looks like we are. Good time for a lag spike. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
No action. No hero's gonna die. Yeah, I agree with you about the double BKB, though. Sure, you can use the Roar, the Enigma Black Hole to hold them in place, but picked up as early as they were, Duskbin don't have the physical damage to bring these heroes down. Even if they lock a Death Prophet in place, it doesn't matter. She is still dealing that damage. And of course, you have all the other defensive capabilities to keep them alive. So it's just one extra defensive option for a team that already has so many, and sometimes that one extra is all that you really need. Has Swamon picked anything else up? He's got the mechanism, 2k gold in the bank, close to a pipe, and a Scythe of Vice picked up on the Death Prophet. Oh, this could be bad news, and in fact, most likely will be for Duskbin. Ken doesn't even care. He's way in the front lines. Just going to start right-clicking on the tower. The King pops the ultimate silence onto the Beastmaster. That Hex picked up. He was not prepared for that. Power shot comes through. Cleans up. Anti-Mage in the back lines. Defensive disruption. They may get nuts. Shackle shot not going to latch. That looked like it should have been good, but look how quickly Ninja Boogie melts. Just not able to tank Hachiko. No Black Hole. Wouldn't matter anyway. Not killing anyone on AM. They are 2 tank. Crystal Maiden melting. Blah, will he get locked down? Shackle shot is going to latch. Power shot coming through. Monster kill for this Death Prophet, and she is utterly out of control. And we're getting a sneak
man.
peek, I think, Gods, at just why Death Prophet has been so popular recently in the European scene. Not quite at the point of being picked as much as a hero like Enigma or Beastmaster, but she's been trending upwards, and with good reason. Such a strong timing push here to have on your side. The silence cannot be underestimated. The farm power, the laning presence, and very impressive display from them, knowing how to counter the anti-mage, even after a shaky start.
And this is a true preview of AEON's, their actual potential. I mean, they had some shaky games up against MSI, where they actually only beat MSI, a fairly new team, 2-1, but here they are, up against Duskbin, one of the top teams in this qualifier, and just playing very convincingly. They had sharp drafting, and while it wasn't the best early game stage for them, they knew come mid-game they'd have the hero and item composition, as well as just choose their battles well. They just managed to take Duskbin out. The anti-mage pick never really kicked off, never got the farming needed, and as a result we see now 31 minutes in the game. There's the mega creeps, and it is going to be AEON who do take game 1.
Well, a little black hole there just for some flair, and Enigma actually gets forced that, but that does not actually cancel black hole in Dota 2, unfortunately. I believe in Heroes of Newerth it does, but here comes the Death Prophet ultimate. Will she be able to turn this one around? One last fight as the throne towers are taking some damage from creeps. Oh, and it looks like Duskbin gonna get wiped out again. The farm advantage, simply too great. Assault Caress picked up on DK. Unstoppable is Ken joining the Death Prophet on top of the scoreboard here. 10-3 and 9, 8-2 and 14. Man, these two have been active, and once that mid game hit, it's like a switch went off for AEON. Kind of reminiscent of how we saw WE playing, although they're doing it against a bit better, a bit more experienced of a team here in Duskbin. But still, this sort of timing push, it seems to be working out well for both of those teams. Will Duskbin be able to fire back? If anyone can respond to this kind of early game push, I believe it is Duskbin. They are very creative. Nonetheless, AEON jump ahead to a quick 1-game lead and this best out of 3. Any closing thoughts?
You summed it up really well there. It was just a matter of, that mid-game push. The 2 BKBs in the front, it was just Duskbin. I like their draft for the Beastmaster and Enigma, but in the end, they just didn't have the mid-game presence. Like Heroes, they had a Queen of Pain, but it basically came down to just Queen of Pain, and Beastmaster and Enigma could never get the right positioning for those fights.
Wow, AEON looks strong. They started off a little shaky, but they definitely found their footing. I wonder if we're going to see any of these heroes banned out. I think especially the Windrunner Earthshaker combination. Sure, Death Prophet and Dragonite were fantastic in the mid-game, but they just give you so much insurance if you have bad positioning, if you make any mistakes, if you need that initiation. These two heroes offer it without requiring the most farm in the world. So maybe we'll see those either banned out or picked up by Duskbin. Still, Duskbin's lineup was not bad, but it was very contingent on having a fantastic, flawless start, and they made a few mistakes.